If you clicked on this video, you already know the feeling, the same conversation revolving around your weight. The fear around carbs that has slowly stolen your joy, and the deep desire to not only feel free in your body, but with your relationship with food. Because what I'm about to share with you gave me back something I didn't even realize I lost, which is the uncomplicated and extraordinary freedom that I feel in my body to be able to eat exactly what I love. My path back to freedom came from the most unexpected door imaginable, a piece of fruit, and everything changed from there. Let me take you back to the photos in the thumbnail. That's me in my 20s, naturally slim, never dieted. I ate dessert twice a day, a size 2 without trying. I turned 29 years old and I panicked. I had just graduated culinary school in Los Angeles and I didn't have a job, I didn't have money, I didn't have a boyfriend. Everything in my life felt completely out of control, but the one thing I could control was what I put in my mouth. So I ended up controlling my body obsessively and relentlessly, and what looked like discipline from the outside honestly felt like a prison on the inside. I was so afraid of carbs that I would walk through the beautiful produce section at Whole Foods and I would look at the apples with envy. Envy. That's how trapped I was. And then when I allowed myself to start eating normally again, I seemingly gained 30 to 35 pounds overnight, and that was the heaviest I had ever weighed in my life. I was depressed, anxious, confused, and completely unable to find my way back. Now, I want to be clear, I know there is nothing wrong with the photo of me in my 30s, but when you're thin your whole life and you get a lot of positive reinforcement from people saying, oh, you're so thin, and then you put on 30 to 35 pounds in 2 to 3 months, it made me feel ashamed. The thing that had worked before, restricting carbs, wasn't working anymore. In fact, it was making things worse. The more I restricted, the more my body fought back, and it just felt like an ongoing battle I simply couldn't win. The turning point came from the most unexpected direction. I started dealing with some health issues, and I decided that I wanted to begin taking a lot of herbal supplements and tinctures, and to support my body's natural detox, I decided to just eat an all fruit diet. I'll be honest with you, I was scared. I was terrified to eat fruit because I was always taught if you eat fruit, you will get fat, and that is the last thing that I wanted. I was desperate, and if you've ever been in a health crisis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your health trumps the way that you look aesthetically. And I went on this all fruit detox for 10 weeks and I lost weight. I never felt any kind of restriction. I mean, I ate copious amounts of fruit and I allowed myself to eat it all day long, sometimes up until I went to bed, which isn't great, but I did it. More than the weight loss, I lost my fear around eating carbs, which I never thought was going to happen, and my cravings for processed sugar disappeared. For the first time in years, when I sat down to eat, I felt relaxed and I felt at ease, and I thought, wow, this is how you're supposed to feel when you eat. And I realized my body didn't want less. It actually wanted more color, vibrancy, variety. Complex carbs like sweet potatoes, lentils, beans, squash, foods that had become my enemy were now my medicine. So I learned that in order to maintain a slim, healthy toned body, you either need to eat a higher carb, low fat diet or a higher fat, low carb diet. Because one of the biggest drivers behind weight gain is when you combine too many carbs with too much fat. Take, for instance, a donut, very high in carbs, very high in fat. Cake, cookies, brownies, chips, French fries. And because I love volume, I love eating a lot of food in one sitting, eating a high carb, low fat diet really works for me. This way of eating has allowed me to eat more food and give me more satisfaction and energy than any restrictive protocol ever did. And that freedom has a name now, and I call it my carb freedom code. And that's exactly what I teach my clients as a plant-based chef and what I teach you lovely women watching this channel. Perhaps some of you are wondering, okay, well, what about sugar cravings or the pull toward processed food? Well, here's what I discovered. Raw vegan desserts changed everything for me during my transition. Raw cheesecakes, cookies, brownies made from dates, cacao, chia seeds, maple syrup, nuts. Calorically dense, yes, just like a regular dessert, but so loaded with fiber, minerals, protein, real nutrition that your body actually registers them as nourishment rather than a quick hit. And the magical part, anytime I ate a raw vegan dessert, I always craved a salad and a green juice as my next meal, whereas when I used to eat regular cookies and brownies, I always wanted more an hour later, without fail. So what does my life look like now that I'm in my 40s and I'm supposed to be heavier than I was in my 20s? I eat complex carbs without fear, guilt, or shame, and I eat copious amounts of food that nourishes me at a cellular level and keeps me satisfied in a way processed food never could. This might sound trite. Not only do I feel grateful for the food that is always bestowed upon me when I'm about to eat, I'm grateful that the fear around carbs has disappeared. That's how much of a hold it had on me. That's what carb freedom feels like, and it's available to you. The Carb Freedom Code is built from everything I've lived through, every breakthrough, every discovery, every downfall. It teaches you step by step how to eat the foods you love in a way that keeps you in the driver's seat. Everything I teach is right here on this channel, but if you're so inclined, grab a free copy of my guide below that teaches you exactly how to indulge in this beautiful lifestyle. Thank you for tuning in, ladies. I can't wait to see you in the next video.